All right, good morning, guys. Quick sound check. Let me know if you can hear me. Sound check 1, 2. Oh, it is Friday, October 18th here. What's going on, Mike? Appreciate that, Frank. All right, guys. So looking at a couple things here this morning, in terms of the markets, we have like the flattest open I think that we could possibly have at this point. The standout thing there that I'm kind of watching for. I had set some alerts last night down under yesterday's lows here for the S&Ps and the Nasdaq. So S&P's lows yesterday 29.90 quarters, and then Nasdaq's lows were 79.22s, I believe there. So set some alerts, and looks like we traded through those according to my alerts this morning at like 3:15 this morning. And what I'm thinking here for the day. I've got a do not trade zone here again between 3,005 and kind of 29.95, 29.93 quarters here for the S&Ps. You can see we've basically gone a whole lot of nowhere here over the past, basically 3.5 days, maybe 4.5 days here potentially today. We had kind of popped up here close to 3,000, pulled back. This was the Columbus Day situation there, then kind of popped back up again. And just pretty much gone sideways here. I did the morning write up this morning, and I don't have charts at the house for some reason. Could not get into toss, but I really expected this consolidation day here on Wednesday to be, basically what we saw yesterday, and then we could potentially have another consolidation day on Thursday, and then actually make a move on Friday, or kind of slowly grind to the upside there. But that's not the case here. So what I'm thinking on the day, I think we can push up towards 3005s at some point here on the day. We've got 3001 quarters as the overnight highs, 2989 quarters as the overnight lows. So 12-point range in the overnight session. And I think the S&Ps, like I said yesterday, S&Ps and SPX are going to close somewhere right around 3,000 to a little bit north of 3,000 on the day. Again, that's going to give talking heads some things to say, and it kind of levels out the markets going into next week. So I don't think there's going to be a whole lot to do here in the S&Ps. If anything, again, a spike this morning early on down into 29.93 quarters, I think is a decent long opportunity there for a move kind of back up towards 3,000. Again, you're looking for like a 6-7 point trade there out of the S&Ps. That's pretty much, I think, about it here on the day. One thing I'm seeing this morning, we've got the S&Ps down 0.06%, NASDAQ down 0.08%, Dow down 0.12%, and the Russell here down 0.24%. So Russell was strongest market yesterday, actually ended up rallying up about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, tagging new highs. And then now giving back a portion of that move here this morning. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. Russell just like straight up ripped from the opening bell yesterday to the upside. If something like that starts to happen this morning, either to the upside or to the downside for the Russell, that'll give me a little bit of kind of caution for concern with respect to the other markets, especially if we do start selling off a lot with the Russell. It was the market making the move yesterday, and ultimately getting to the new highs there around 3 o'clock, proving its strength in terms of price structure wise, and then now not really able to hold that here. So I'm going to keep a close eye on that. I don't necessarily plan on doing too much here with the futures themselves. If we are able to trade down into kind of that 29.93 quarters, the best thing I see there is potentially selling some puts in the S&P options here. Or potentially, some SPY stuff lower. And that way we're looking at kind of a containment play and selling some premium here on the day for monthly options expiration. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. The premium's not quite there just yet, but I think if we can get that little bit of a spike, then I think we can do something like that. So if you guys are permissioned for futures options, then that is a trade I'm looking at there. And same thing to the top side. And then just using the actual futures to hedge the position if we have to. So that's what I'm watching for in terms of the overall markets here. Pretty quiet day. I really wish there was something better to say, hey, buy this or sell that on this type of move. And, we got a 30-point target, but it's just not the case here today. So if I don't trade a futures contract today, I will not be surprised, actually, unfortunately. But in terms of news announcement, there's really nothing there either. So I don't see much that's going to really, kind of move this market. We've got some Great Bird and Pound news coming out at 1:45. Someone over there is going to be speaking. There's 11:30. Some FOMC member, Claridia, is speaking here. And then a federal budget balance, which doesn't have a time here. So again, I don't think there's much to that. The current open positions I have are going to be BYND and Netflix. Netflix I'll cover here first just because it's the easiest. Netflix gapping down about $3 here this morning. Those puts are way down here like 270, so Netflix needs to like absolutely crater down to 270 in order for something really to work out with that one. So Netflix was a lotto trade. Again, sizing it up for max loss on the options contract. I think we were buying those for, like 40 cents a piece. So I still have that position on, and I'll let that ride out. BYND here is the other position that I currently have on. Sitting on 115 puts, 114s, 113s, 112s, 111s, 110s. And we're gapping down this morning 114.52s here. What I'm going to do kind of at the open is I'm going to look to take off a portion of each one of those strikes here for some number over break even and lock in a little bit of profits on each one of those, given the gap down. We traded lower in the overnight session here. I don't really know that there's light volume in the overnight session for this thing, but it's got lows down here like right around 113s. So my plan is to kind of price some of these options out with a kind of spike at the open down under 113, which would be like a $1.50 move for the stock. So we've got, the 115 puts. Those should go to about $2 here if we can trade down to 113 right at the open. So I'm going to work some orders to take off about 30 to 50% of the overall position in BYND on a move kind of like to 113s or so. A little bit off at the open and then kind of scale that up into, so right about 20 to 30% at the open. And then the remaining up to 50% of the position down into 113 print here on the day. So that's what I'm doing with BYND here. And then the rest of the position I want to hold into the 106 target. There's nothing else that I see on the charts until 106. But I do want to, manage this trade appropriately with the risk and things like that. It's gotten the nice move so far, and it's just looking for that continuation here. It's only another, 8 points or so to go. And the first hourly bar yesterday was $6.70. So I think we can get it today. But again, just going to manage the risk accordingly in there, taking a little bit off here this morning, and then looking to hold the rest for down to 106s there. So S&P's here currently trading 29.93 quarters. So that's what I've got this morning. I think it's going to be a fairly light day. We'll manage out of BYND, and then most likely see if we can get a kind of containment play for the S&Ps there and a closing print somewhere around 3,000 on the week, and round out monthly options expiration week here. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Thank you guys so much for coming on, and I will be back in just a few minutes for the morning live session. My throat is still a little scratchy in that situation, so I may be a little bit quieter on the mic today than normal. But if you guys are new around here, click that subscribe button. Make sure you turn on the little bell notification so you know when we go live each and every morning. And if you want to join myself and Perry and Jay and Rob and all the rest of the MLT team in the Discord, there is a link in the description below. It'll get you all the details. We'd love to have you guys in there. And we will see you next time. Have a great weekend, everybody, if I don't see you in the live trading session. And we'll see you next week. Take care.